I'm Mera Anrobion and I will discuss with you today my topic about why is that despite of the different programs offered by the government, it has been found out that 1 out of 10 Filipinos remains functionally illiterate. But before I proceed to my topic, I should first define what is functionally illiteracy and what is the difference of it to illiteracy. Functionally, illiteracy consists of reading and writing skills that are inadequate to manage daily living and employment tasks that require reading skills beyond basic level. People who can read and write only in a language other than the predominant language of where they live may be also considered as functionally illiterate. Functional illiteracy is contrasted with illiteracy in the strict sense, meaning the inability to read and write simple sentences in any language. In a simple explanation, functional illiteracy is when a person does not learn some reading and writing skills but not well enough for their works. Perhaps they cannot write well enough to fill out a form or to understand instruction in a manual. According to Lolita 2009, illiterate Filipinos now has grown to 15 million and counting because of increasing number of children stops every year. When the Philippines adopted the United Nations Education for All in 2006, its initial goal was to make all Filipinos aged 10 to 64 functionally illiterate. This means bring to zero the number of functionally illiterate population from the recorded 11 million Filipinos in 2003. But the question is, why is that despite of the different programs offered by the government, it has been found out that 1 of 10 Filipinos remain functionally illiterate? It is because there are emerging and persistent issues such as poverty, climate change, devastating disasters, armed conflict, and threats to the safety and security of school children that makes universal education attainment a challenge. Because in the Philippines, there was an increased estimated number of poor families. This has repercussions on the provisions of basic learning needs as the top reason why Filipinos do not attend school. Because sometimes, students quit school in order to work in the farm or in the factory, in order to assist with the family income. Food and basic necessities of life take precedence before books can be purchased. People deprived of their basic needs such as shelter, food, clothes are less likely to develop themselves with higher education. In other words, economic instability can affect the ability of a population to become literate. Another challenge that the country has been grappling with is armed conflict, the most recent of which was the fighting between an insurgency group. Students' education was affected as schools were damaged or used as temporary shelters. Also, shortages of classrooms and textbooks are particularly severe. Other teaching tools such as science materials, teaching devices, and audiovisual aids are also in short supply. That's why many Filipinos remain functionally illiterate because of inadequate schooling, subsequently lack of access to reading and writing materials. Many Filipinos remain functionally illiterate. It is because of deteriorating quality of education in the Philippines due to poor management of schools, poor school facilities such as laboratory and library facilities, poor learning environments. About 91.6% Filipinos 10 to 64 years old were functional literate in 2019. According to the results of the 2019 Functional Literacy, Education and Mass Media Survey or FLEMS, this translates to around 73 million out of 79.7 million in the same age group who are considered literate on a functional level. It shows on Table 1, generally, functional literacy rates among the population 10 to 64 years old across sexes and age groups were higher in 2019 than in 2011. In 2019, females posted higher functional literacy rate of 92.9% than males, that is 90.2%. Both posted significant higher rates compared with the proportion of functional literate female of 92% and male is 88.7% Filipinos in 2011. Among age groups, it shows that 20 to 24 years old or 96% Filipinos had the highest functional literacy rates in 2019, while those aged 60 to 64 years old or 88.4% had the lowest functional literacy. Across regions, Table 2 shows that National Capital Region and Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARMM registered as the highest or 95.5% and lowest 71.6% functional literacy rate. Filipinos who are at least junior high school completers in the K-12 curriculum or equivalently high school graduates in the old curriculum were reported to have very high functional literacy rates. In the past, education was not required, but in this day, universal education is becoming a necessity. Knowing how to read and write or being functionally literate is a must for succeeding in today's technologically advanced and quickly evolving society.